The Daedric Princes are one of, if not the, most popular aspects of the Elder Scrolls lore. These are the gods who refuse to partake in the creation of Mundus, and thus retain the majority of their original power, governing their own spheres of influence from their own planes of Oblivion. But Oblivion is said to contain thousands upon thousands of pocket realms, dimensions, and other spheres of influence. The ones who watch over these are the Daedra Lords, and in this video, we're going to be learning about these mysterious and powerful individuals. Daedra Lords are mighty Daedric beings, with power and influence that matches that of the Demi-Princes and is surpassed by only the Daedric Princes. Some are powerful enough to manage their own spheres and planes, while others assist Daedric Princes in carrying out tasks and managing smaller planes. Daedra Lords first appeared in Daggerfall as one of the most powerful enemies in the game, though there wasn't much to them beyond that. They were greatly expanded upon in Battlespire, where they could not only be encountered as enemies, but as prominent NPCs. Let's set the scene a bit first, though. In 3E399, right around the time of the events of Arena, Jaegar Tharn collaborated with Mehrunes Dagon in order to launch an attack on the Battlespire, an otherworldly training ground in Oblivion for Imperial Guards and potential Imperial Battle Mages. 5 Battle Mages were known to watch over the Battlespire, and Tharn wanted them eliminated in order to remove possible rivals for his position as Imperial Battle Mage. The Apprentice, the game's protagonist, is a new recruit who had been sent to the Battlespire, only to see it overrun by Daedra. They battle their way through the levels of the Battlespire and various planes of Oblivion in order to reach and defeat Mehrunes Dagon. Along the way, they are forced to encounter and make deals with several Daedra Lords. There are 4 Daedra Lords that appear in Battlespire: Imago Storm of the Dremora clan, Phaedra Shardai of the Shardai clan, Jivalai Moth of the Jivalai clan, and Sumir Jabran. Phaedra and Jivalai are considered to be Mehrunes Dagon's adoptive children, as crazy as that sounds. Moth is the first appearance of the Jivalai, which later appeared as a Daedra species in the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. During the events of Battlespire, Phaedra and Moth launched an invasion of the Shade Perilous, using their respective Flame and Frost Atronachs, despite the fact that the two groups were sworn enemies. A pact was made between Phaedra and Moth so that the Atronachs wouldn't fight one another. Eventually, the Apprentice caused a conflict between the Frost and Flame Atronachs. This generated an escalating sibling rivalry between Phaedra and Moth. After escaping from the Shade Perilous, the Apprentice ended up in a plane known as the Chimera of Desolation, and found themselves caught in the middle of the Ritual of the Innocent Quarry, a great hunt hosted by Hircine, in which the Apprentice was the target. Phaedra's forces attempted to catch the Apprentice, though they failed, and the Apprentice escaped with the Spear of Bitter Mercy and the Savior's Hide. All of this was greatly to the disapproval of Imago Storm. Clan Dagon had taken in both the Shardai and Jivalai clans, and what had happened was considered a great embarrassment. Thus, Imago allied himself with the Apprentice, helping them banish Phaedra and Mehrunes Dagon. In order to accomplish this, Imago told the Apprentice their neonymics, the true names of Daedra, which allows the one who utters it to banish that specific Daedra into Oblivion. In addition to that, the Apprentice tricked Moth into having the Shardai and Jivalai clans go to war with one another. Imago then took control of Clan Dagon and brought order to the other clans and relinquished his hold on the realms of the Battlespire, causing it to collapse. Sumir, meanwhile, was simply subservient to Mehrunes Dagon, alongside his comrades Methats and Wonshala Karyane, commander of the Spider Daedra, and was in charge of looting the Battlespire. While traveling through the 3rd level, the Apprentice comes across Sumir, who enlists the Apprentice's help in assembling the Void Guide. The Void Guide acts as a portal to the other levels of the Battlespire, and Sumir, along with other servants of Dagon, have been charged with rebuilding it. Eager to obtain Dagon's favor, Sumir promises the Apprentice safe passage if they help in reconstructing the Void Guide. The Apprentice does so, and uses the Void Guide to pass into the Soul Cairn. Sumir, his comrades Wonshala and Methats, and Moth reappeared in ESO as generals of Molag Bal during the Plane Meld, tasked with opening and protecting Dark Anchors. Methats also had an appearance in the Skyrim Creation Club quest, The Cause, having become the highest ranking Dremora underneath Mehrunes Dagon. Speaking of ESO, it introduces us to another Daedra Lord, Hollowjack, the Lord of Mortal Fears and the ruler of the demiplane of Detritus. Hollowjack obtains his power by feeding on the fear of mortals, and the desperate prayers that they utter out of that fear. He then shows them visions of their worst possible nightmares and tells of Detritus and the terrible things within. There are other lesser-known Daedra Lords, such as the Crow Mother, a servant of Nocturnal that rules over the pocket realm of the Crow's Wood, and the Tree of the Bad Man's Hallows, which feeds on soul energy and expands the realm as it grows. There is even a supposed Daedric Lord of Fishing, subservient to her scene. It all makes you wonder what other kinds of Daedra Lords are out there.